Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss in this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Anil, and he's selling his affiliate and Amazon Associates business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Anil. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Craig. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you for asking. And I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's an affiliate and Amazon Associates business in the gaming niche, created in May 2018. The average monthly revenue for the business is $5,785, and it makes an average of $4,391 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search listing 54058 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have the domain and all site content and files, social media accounts for Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Medium and YouTube, affiliate relationships and SOPs. Okay, Neil, now let's hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. I have about 10 years of experience as a print editor. Several years ago, when the print industry dried up, I converted my skills towards web. And so I worked in corporate media for a few years, internet communications, stuff like that. After that, I moved and worked for 4 years in an SEO agency where I learned the nitty-gritty, taking content and optimizing it for Google. And that combination of skills led me towards building my own SEO-driven content website.
Yeah, it seems like a natural progression from your previous experience. So how did you come up with the idea to start this business in particular?
I was suffering from health problems, and I came across a product that helped my health problems very much. And when I looked online for more information on how to use these products, I realized there wasn't much out there. Around that same time, a mentor of mine was advising me to look into building my own affiliate website. And this product, because there were so many unanswered questions about it, I decided, hey, it seems like a natural fit. Let me try answering questions about this product. And so that's how it came together.
Yeah, of course, with you being in the gaming niche, I guess the product is sort of related to gaming also, as well as the health issue that you encountered as well.
Yeah, the thing with gaming, I guess for about 15 years now, it's just become more and more popular. A few years ago, when we talked about hardcore gamers, we were talking about a very small niche subsection. But these days, so many people are sitting and playing games. So a lot of new needs have emerged for regular people sitting down at a desk all day long.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So could you talk us through how you sort of built the business and how you drive revenue for the business?
Okay, so in the first year when I launched the business, actually I had the starting website made by a company called Human Proof Designs. So they make out-of-the-box custom affiliate websites. Because I'd never made an affiliate website before, it seemed like the safest way forward. So they built me up a site of about 10 pages, and that gave me the format and the understanding on how affiliate websites work. So for about 3 months after it launched, I just wrote a whole bunch of content. I didn't use any SEO or keyword research or anything. I just answered questions that I wanted to know about the product. So I did that for about 3 months, and then I got bored. I forgot about it, and I just put it aside. And by a few months later, an SEO friend of mine, he mentioned to me, hey, your website's doing really well. And I said, I don't know, I forgot about it. And so I went and I took a look, and surprisingly, the questions that I had answered, it seemed like a lot of people had those same questions. And so, wow, this thing's actually working. So that's kind of how it started.
Excellent. That's a really interesting approach, when usually it's common for content site builders to search trending topics, but it's sort of you've drawn from your own experience to, in a sense, help yourself, and by helping yourself, you're helping other people, and that's what's sort of grown this business. That's interesting. So you earn primarily from affiliate revenue and Amazon Associates as well?
Correct.
And you started with affiliates and then you expanded to Amazon, or vice versa, or did you sort of build those revenue streams at the same time?
I started with Amazon because that's just what everybody does, and I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. And so I just put up a bunch of Amazon links. And then eventually people started contacting me that sell these products. So like big brand names would contact me and say, hey, would you want to sell directly for us? And so then I started realizing, oh, I don't only have to sell with Amazon, I can sell directly as an affiliate for some of these companies. At the time, Amazon was paying, I think, 8% on my products. I didn't really care what the affiliate commissions were. I just sort of went, if a company had only Amazon sales, I would just do that. If they had their own affiliate program, I would sign up for that. And that's kind of how it came together. I guess these days, we have about less than 10 direct affiliates that we work with. We would be open to working with more, but the thing with the affiliates in our industry as well, a lot of them are pretty disorganized. So it depends on how organized they are, if we can work with them or not. So for example, some affiliate programs, they never have any products. They're always sold out. That's not good for us to recommend products that are never in stock. So we kind of have to keep on top of whose products we can push.
Yeah, and I guess the fact that affiliate companies have reached out to you is a sign that you've got a good site that's getting some visibility out there. And I'm looking at your listing page and it says that you've got 2 additional affiliate income streams that will be included in the sale, but they have not been factored into the valuation. Could you just tell us a little about those income streams?
Okay, those would be just other companies in the niche. So the same thing, just affiliate sales. Some of the companies are sporadic, like sometimes they offer, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're out of stock. So those that I've listed as additional income streams, that means they're just not regular. You can't count on them monthly.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so how come is it that you're selling this site right now?
It started in 2018. Now it's 2021. The entire time, even though I come from an SEO background, I haven't really used a lot of SEO in building this website. I've just been focusing on answering questions. And so why are these products good for you? That's one of our strongest points of content that brings in a lot of general readers. And with each question I ask and answer, new questions pop up. So all of the content on this website has been written in an unconventional way, in a non-SEO format, but it's crushed it in the SEO over the past 2 years. The difficulty comes now where there's so much competition is coming in. We are one of the most copied websites in the niche because our information is very clear. We do answer the questions. We don't have any fluff in our content. And so as people are copying our content, we need to raise our game a lot more. I find now that the one guy approach, just writing off the top of his head, isn't enough in the modern landscape. I have 2 options here. I can scale up my operation and build teams and stuff like that, but I'm not really interested in that. My whole interest in this project the whole time was answering questions and creative writing. So now that the site is reaching another level, my interest is going down. I'm really interested in building things and answering questions that don't yet exist. Once that process and framework is built, I feel it's nice for somebody else to take over. My whole career, in fact, has worked this way. I usually come in and build things that don't exist and get them running nicely before I pass them off to traditional management type teams. So maybe a continuation of my career trajectory.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You mentioned that the increase in competition. Just to keep on that trail of thought, what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
There are a couple. Number one, the increased competition. This is a very hot, popular niche, and people are picking up to how lucrative it is. In 2020, you can see our sales. We broke all of our own sales records. Traditionally, in this industry, sales peak from November to January. In last year, in 2020, we were at peak levels for most of the year. And the reason for this is all of this coincides with our pandemic lockdowns. And I can tell you now that when lockdowns go into effect, our product sales skyrocket. When the world opens up, we see sales dip. And so moving forward, this business is going to be, I don't know if it's a good thing to say, but if the pandemic continues, this business will thrive. If it doesn't, we'll go back to our older levels where you see sales spikes around Christmas time, otherwise just sort of less inspiring business. So moving forward into the future, the pandemic does look like it's something going to be around for a while. And so you're looking at two peaks, basically. Anytime people lock down, we see a sales spike. And over Christmas time, we see a sales spike as well. So moving forward, somebody will need to run the site keeping that in mind. We've built this site in a way that's a bit different from the competitor sites. A lot of the competitors are building their sites in the traditional SEO way. They are looking for low competition keywords with high search volumes, and so they're just writing this kind of stuff. We don't do that. I very rarely look at SEO, keyword rankings and stuff like that. We focused on writing evergreen content that's going to be relevant basically for as long as this industry exists. So we have about 200 articles now. Moving forward, whoever takes over this site, I don't think they need to do what everybody else is doing and just keep pumping out content and like chasing the SEO. Instead, our site, I think moving forward, what you need to do is refresh the existing content once a year and add some complementary content. So it's not really a heavy content driven site moving forward. So the new owner, I think, would be looking at a bit of content building, but they should be very sharp on the SEO aspects. And somebody really sharp there, knowing how to track keywords and exact rankings and link building, I think that's where the real juice will come from, the real success of this website. So I would love to see somebody buy it who has those skills, because I feel I've taken it as far as I can with my approach.
Yeah, and it's certainly an approach that other sellers have been successful with. So, yeah, like you say, with this type of site that's been built this way, implementing some SEO work and updating the content could certainly be a growth opportunity. So the implementing the SEO, is that the main growth opportunity you think there is for this business, or is there any other ideas you thought of taking it to the next level?
Yeah, there's one more. We have great relationships with basically most of the brands in the industry, and I've had to turn down invitations from all of them. They all want to send me products, but I've had to turn it down because I'm located in Cambodia, and most of them are catering to the U.S. markets. They can't ship to me here. So whoever the new owner is, right away, they can be put on the list to receive basically every new product that brands are trying to promote will be offered to them. So right now in this industry, we are one of the few, I've been told by a few different brand partners that we are one of the few relevant sites that we don't charge people for writing about their products. So our bigger competitors like Forbes and Business Insider and Tech Insider, these guys, if they write a review on a product, they also charge money for it. We don't, so we are recognized in the industry as one of the people who are worthy of receiving products. So the new owner basically can receive 20 or 30 new products every year. The latest products, before they come out on the market, you can receive them and then use that to boost your content in various ways that we are not taking advantage of right now. So with that, there's a lot of possibilities there. One of the big shortages in this industry is authentic photographs, and we use a lot of Photoshop tricks on our site to overcome that. And as a result, if you do any type of Google search in our niche, you're going to see our images dominating our Google images. And so somebody with authentic pictures of the products can take this to another level. So there's a content building opportunity there. Second, there's also a marketing opportunity. So far, we've only done one marketing thing. We did giveaway last year for product being promoted, but most of the brands are also very interested in whatever ideas we have to promote their products. They're happy to send us products. They're happy to use them as giveaways. I haven't taken advantage of this because I'm just one guy, right, focusing on content. So a new owner who has some clever marketing people will have several companies that would be willing to work with them. So that's a difference between our site and some other generic sites in this industry. We are like one of the best connected with the top brands. And on that note, we're one of the only ones as well who are directly working with some of the bigger, I won't mention the names, but some of the bigger multi-billion-dollar companies as well. So the connections can take this site to the next level in terms of the content you produce. So that's the other one, brand relationships. And the third one, we have a section on our site dedicated to industry news. We're the only website in this genre who focuses on industry news. If you type in our industry and just type in industry name news, you're going to find us at the top. We've been nurturing this for about 2 years now because there is a global marketing report that goes around by a company called Technavio, and they pretend that they are the experts in the industry. They have all of the inside connections. So in 2018, they put out a report about the state of the industry. They charge $5,000 for this report, and basically every big news source in the world uses this report as fact in the industry. Now 2021, this Technavio, they're still using the same report. It hasn't been updated, and it's clear to me that they have no leads in the industry whatsoever. And so that's why we built up this entire news section. Somebody wanting to put out their own state of the union in terms of what's actually happening in the industry, we're kind of poised in that position. We already have sales numbers from 2 of the big companies, so it would mean getting the cooperation of 1 or 2 more big companies to create our own Technavio marketing report that would blow away theirs and have legitimate information. So that's kind of ambitious idea, but if that were to happen, and we're closer than anybody to making that happen, it's not really about selling $5,000 reports. It's branding globally and having it globally recognized that we are the ones getting this insider industry information. So that project is set up for somebody to take advantage of as well.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a very strong brand built up with all the connections, and all it takes is for someone to utilize those connections to take the site to the next level. The new sort of like a media company almost. So that's very interesting stuff, how you've established yourself in the industry. When building this site, was there anything you've learned from this that you would apply to future sites or businesses?
I think applying to future businesses, this kind of approach really only works if it's emerging product. So my formula worked because for 2 reasons. Number 1, at the time it was an emerging product with not a lot of information. Number 2, that's my specialty in figuring something out from nothing. So those two things work together very well. Moving into the future, somebody starting this kind of site now, I would say, is suicide. Don't even try it. You're going to lose everything. It's too late. So I guess the approach I would take, what I learned from this that I could take elsewhere, is it depends on the opportunity more so than the actual project. Like, does the market need another website in this field?
Yeah, and it sounds like by acquiring this already established brand, then the buyer can just sort of take it to the next level with not so much risk and having to build up from scratch. Was there anything you learned from this site that didn't work out for you?
Yeah, I would say one thing, I really focused on just being authentic and developing the site and just answering questions. So one of the things I did neglect was link building. And I guess around this time last year, there was a Google algorithm change, and a lot of my rankings fell off. And I had some of my associates give me some advice, and basically everyone said, well, why aren't you building any links? And I was a bit arrogant at the time. I said, well, why do I need to? Like, everything's ranking. I'm making money. Links is garbage. You guys don't know what you're talking about. And as it turned out, I was wrong, I guess. Link building looks now like a very important part of Google's ranking strategy. And so I got to the link building party a bit late. I just started it last year around this time. So that's one thing I would probably change if I could go back, is be more aggressive in that aspect.
Got it. That makes sense. So as for the day-to-day work for this business, can you describe the amount and type of work you do on this site for maintenance?
Tech maintenance, there's almost nothing. Basically, I just check. I run an audit every now and then. I check out my search console to make sure there's no problems. So the tech is pretty simple. Basically, I wake up every day and either I have a plan to write some new content. When I have plans to write new content, it's because I have a new question or I found a gap somewhere in our existing content. And if I'm not doing that, I'm updating older articles. It's one or the other. It's fairly casual now because the way the site is built, we don't need to focus on pumping out content all the time. And in fact, pumping out content is going to water down this site because each piece of content has a purpose. We have comprehensive reviews, for example, that has 20 products listed. And then we also have single reviews, which each one in those mini reviews has its own dedicated review, this kind of thing. So everything fits together like a puzzle. And so it's pretty casual day by day. You do what you want.
Yeah, that's good for a buyer to know. And what skills or requirements are there for someone who's not familiar with this niche or business model?
I think you would take proper advantage of this website. I think you should have some understanding of the industry, because if you're just an SEO expert and you don't really understand the industry trends or like the different products, it might not work so well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've answered this next question quite well, but just to sort of summarize everything we've discussed, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
This is a business worth buying depending on how you perceive it. I think a traditional buyer who just goes by the numbers and looks at the traffic and the sales may not see the value in this website. I think somebody with a little knowledge of the industry will see it as a platform for much greater things. I think our site is really just at the beginning. It's a nice foundation for taking things to the next level. So as an example, let's say you have a favorite bakery in your town and they make great cookies, but the bakery is going to close down because they've got just no business, and you're really good at marketing. So you can apply some thought. Well, what does this business need to bring more customers? Looking at it from a macro sort of way. So if there were savvy marketers that can look at our platform and the opportunities it represents, they could probably start visualizing a lot of ways to take it to a higher sales level. So I think either you'll look at my site and something is going to connect with you right away in that, oh, this is a nice platform, and what can I do standing on this platform, then you'll see the opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's absolute fair assessment. So, regarding the sale of this business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I would. At this point, to be honest, I'm burnt out by this niche, number one. Number two, I feel that my mission is complete. I've answered all of the questions I wanted to answer about this industry. When I started, it was a niche industry, and now it's globally mainstream and red hot. And I think our site played a role in that. And I really feel that my work is done here. So I don't want to compete in this industry any longer. That said, for a new buyer, this website is like my baby. And I've built it up and developed a lot of expertise and knowledge in the industry. One of the reasons we've done so well is that we were first on many topics. And so I would be happy to lend that expertise to the new buyer for a long time. So somebody wants to take this over and have me on the line to say, hey, man, I have this idea for this company. Do you think they would go for it? Yes, I could help with that. If they had some strategic ideas, these kind of things, if they wanted to know how different brands were to work for, this kind of stuff, I could help very, very much. So I'd be willing to support the project. I would like to see it hit the next level. I don't want to just really sell it. I'd like to see it reach that higher level.
Yeah, and that leads me nicely into my next question of how much support you're going to offer buyers initial sort of transition period when they take over the business. Are you going to initially give up 30 days of email and Skype support and maybe some extra support, as you mentioned before?
Yeah, I had an idea how it could work. Regarding the technicals, like website maintenance, I could probably run a new developer through the whole process in about 30 minutes or so with a 1 or 2 page summary of notes. And so that would cover the technical parts. Regarding the content parts, I would like to speak with an editor/SEO to let them know which are the pages that are the most important and which are the ones that are making the money. And there's only a handful. A lot of them make money, but a couple are real revenue streams come from. So you want to nurture those and you want to build around those. So I think some feedback, unless the new people wanted to just do like SEO and like keyword research based articles, and if they wanted to like continue with our strategy, I could help them out in terms of what they could write about. So yeah, I'd make it as easy as possible. A new owner would need a capable dev person. I do it all myself because I know all the stuff, and the development is, you don't need a full-timer for that. You don't really even need a part-timer. It's a very little amount of work. And then you're going to need, like, obviously editors to do that work. But I feel the most important addition to whoever runs this team will be the marketing person.
Okay, and are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yeah, it's not my first choice, but it can be discussed.
All right, anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
No, I think that covers everything. Sorry if I was overly long-winded. I could talk about this site for days.
No, totally understand. It's your baby, like you're saying. It's given us some great insights into your business today. So thank you very much for your time, Anil. It's been great talking to you. Okay,
thanks, Craig. You have a good day.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 54058. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.